Somehow the stream ended just on its own. I started it once, and then I had to start it again. I apologize for it. I will keep an eye on it. So back to, have you heard anything from it? What you have? Is it working now, lovely ladies? Okay, Lita says that I'm lovely, so I guess she can see me. And Kata says that she can hear me now. So I don't actually know that when did the video disrupt. So I will start anew. And thank you for your patience with me, ladies. So again, usual intro. Hello, everyone. Hello, lovely beaders. I am Erika of Beadingschool, and you are watching Coffee Time with Erika, my weekly BD broadcast. And today I will let you in my thought process on how I choose metal findings for my beaded motifs to make them look even more professional and even more unique. So now that we established that finally you can hear me and you can see me, I would like to greet everyone again. Heather, Erika, Anna, Loretta, Linda, Kimberly, who's saying, I'm so excited to be on here this morning. I worked to get a bunch done so I could join again. And Erika is here, and Angelina, and Rita, Anna, Irene, Linda, Corinne, Kata, Rita, Lita, Sherry, Antoinette, Aniko, Anita. So it's all good now. Molly, Helena, Yosin, Bernadette, Elena, Sharon, Jen, Robin, Hannah. Zuzi is here, Cindy, Nancy, Jennifer, Lisette, Beatrix, and Asta too. So hello, lovely ladies, and I'm really, really looking forward to today's video. First of all, there is a big reason to celebrate. It seems that April will be all about celebrations. Many of us are actually celebrating birthdays, including Hannah, including Zuzi, and many other beaders who mentioned that during No One Has to Bead Alone last week. And also, as you might know, the Beading School birthday is coming up, and it's very important that there was a change in the Beading School birthday date, because originally it was supposed to happen already next week. However, we realized that together with Easter, it is a lot, and a lot of beaders are traveling to visit families. They don't have that much time and energy besides all the festivities or just coming together. So we decided to swap 2 weeks. So next week we will have bead embroidery week, and then the week after we will have beading school birthday week. So please note that in your calendars, maybe even mark it in your beader's calendar if you have one. And I am really looking forward to everything. But also today we were reminded that the Beading School Facebook page reached 10,000 followers, and that is an incredible amount, and so many creative people coming together. I would like to thank everyone who is spreading the word. and who is talking about beading school. And I see you when you tag us. I see you that you are talking about us in big beading groups on Facebook. I see you when you share it on your private profiles. So thank you so much for doing that. Every like, every share, every mention really, really matters to us. And I would also like to thank everyone for your sparkly bead orders from the previous week, because nearly all of our precious AB boxes are gone now. I think especially the sun version, as I have seen in the inventory, there are maybe like 6 or 7 remaining. So if you would still like to get one, don't hesitate. But most importantly, I would like to thank you for loving them so much. And this unique item, this custom coating of the beloved 8mm chatons, it is indeed possible thanks to the power of the community, thanks to so many of you joining the Beading School community and trusting us with your precious bead orders, because thanks to the community growing, we can actually make these projects happen. Because of course we can't order just 6 of these cabochons, but we have to order a lot. So thank you so much for spreading the word. Every time when you do that, you also do it for yourself, because we can make these kinds of special projects happen. And Niti says, in the meantime, hi everyone, congratulations on this amazing achievement. And Nancy says, wow, 10,000. Heather is cheering, and Lita says, that is an amazing milestone. That's how many customers have converted into big fans. And Lita, thank you for saying that. And like, when I think about beading school and beading school beaders, I actually never use the word customers. I don't know if you ladies have noticed, but I always think about us like beaders together, beading school beaders, and as a big tribe living together the beading school lifestyle, starting with a beading school coffee mug in the morning, and then playing with our goodies, and then engaging in the club. So yeah, it is a form of life. So thank you for joining, and thank you for making this dream come true. And lovely ladies, now it's time to talk about the metal findings that I mentioned. And there are so many to choose from nowadays. And it's good to get a little bit of orientation, how to think about them when we are looking for the best ones for beaded jewels. Is there a best one? There are many choices that fit well, but it's nice to think about it, to stop and think about it for a moment. Because in my opinion, beading doesn't start and doesn't end on the bead mat. It lasts from the first moment when we start to think about colors and shapes, when we reach into our stash, when we find a tutorial we want to play with, or we go bead shopping. And again, the end of beading is not when we thread the last little size 15 seed bead. It is just as important how we style the jewel with our outfit, how we pack it, if we are going to gift it or to sell it. And of course, also, after adding all the beads needed, it's also just as important to dress the jewel with metal components that fit well. We like to joke that beading is consisting of many hobbies. Bead shopping for sure, playing with our beads, uh, melting a new order into our existing stash, looking at beads, showing beads to our beading friends. And at the same time, I also hear it very often that choosing metal components and adding metal findings to your jewels, to your beaded motifs, so they can become ready, wearable jewels, is sometimes a struggle. And I would love to change this idea of a struggle and something that is that is kind of like keeping us from starting to being able to start the next jewel. I would love to transform the idea of choosing the metal findings and adding the metal findings into one of these hobbies connected to beading, because it can be really fun now that we have so many high quality choices out there. Let's make it a personal quest, everyone, that we will finish our jewels, we will give attention to those metal findings, and we will finish the jewels and secure the thread ends and trim the thread ends so we can wear them, gift them, sell them. And let's enjoy the process of choosing the metal components just as much as other bead-related hobbies. And in the meantime, Lita says, I have a box labeled Beadingschool Fancies with all of those gorgeous metal items that have come in the boxes. They are so much more than findings. And Lita, that is so very nice to read. And I'm glad that you treasure the metal findings so much that they even have a specific place. I remember when, at the beginning of my beading journey, all we had were one type of simple ear wires and two different leather bags. There was one without any kind of decorations and one fancier version, and that's it. And the same went pretty much for clasps. Smaller or bigger lobster clasps, a few toggles, and a ball-shaped magnetic closure. And that's it. And nowadays, when I select a metal finding, doesn't matter if it's an essential one, as an earring or a clasp, or a purely decorative addition as a crystal connector or a glass drop, a pendant, a charm, I always aim for making the jewel even more unique and personal. I love to add my designs an edginess that I achieve by strengthening a design element in a motif, or on the contrary, creating contrast. And I am very curious, ladies. Do you like selecting the metal findings? Do you enjoy that part? Or is it something that feels like work? Please type in your comments. I am very, very curious about that. Vanya says in the meanwhile that this is her favorite subject, and I'm so happy to hear that, Vanya. We also have a really informative video and blog post that teaches you how to attach the metal findings. And because sometimes the metal findings have an easy loop going left to right, and sometimes the loop is attached front to back, which especially for beginner beaders who see that for the first time can be tricky to work well, so the metal component stays how it is supposed to stay. So we have educational material for you to help you with that. And I confess I forgot to look it up. So if we have Susie here, Susie, can I misuse you, please? I'm so sorry. But if you are here, could you maybe pop the link to that article or video into the chat if you are still here with me? Thank you so much. And in the meanwhile, I'm starting to see some of your answers about metal findings. Robin says, something I definitely need to keep in mind is the process of finishing. That extra few percent of the beadwork, it really can make a difference, dear Robin. So I can only encourage you, put in the effort or ask for some advice in the Beading School Club, and we are there to help you. And Hannah says, I know my jewelry making goes hand in hand with my makeup designs, and I learned it. So nice to hear. Kimberly likes Lita's idea with the treasure box for findings. Cindy joined us. And Neeti says, my findings draw so many compliments. I love each one I bought from Beading School. And Loretta says, I agree. I have all my beads and findings sorted, but not only shape and colors, metals, but where I purchased them. Beading School is labeled high-ended. They are very precious to me. Oh, dear Loretta, I'm really glad that you feel the care and you feel the quality. Rachel joined us, and Corinne says that she loves selecting the metal findings, and it does look like I can see that in your jewels, Corinne. Like it does make a difference. And Cindy also enjoys choosing what she's going to work with, beads or findings. And Lita says, with the items from Beading School, it has become so much easier. Beautiful and interesting clasps and drops and charms that can design around the whole piece. And Niti also thinks that findings are the most important finishing touch, and she enjoys the process. Loretta finds attaching them challenging. Loretta, if you run into a question or you hesitate, please snap a picture and post it in the Beading School Club, and we are there to help you. Jenny says, I love metal findings. It's sometimes difficult to find silver findings, like drops in silver settings. And that is true. Unfortunately, the manufacturers make a lot smaller selection from the silver finishes. So that's why we have less. But whenever we are capable of persuading them to make something also in silver, then we are doing that, because I know that there are many beaders loving silver. Yosin likes to take time to go into her stash and find the right finding. Evie says, the filigrees are fun to add to designs to give the next level look. I want to play with different shapes with beads like Laura did with Alhambra. And Cindy says, if your stash is big enough from Beading School, you can always find the right finding. Nancy says, are the flower spacer bars in gold there yet? They are definitely coming today. I'm not exactly sure about the moment, but they are coming today. And Linda says, it is part of the whole design. I love it when it is perfect for the piece. Kimberly also loves connectors. And she says, I love that many of the clasps from Beading School can also be used instead of a focal, a connector, or a link, instead of being used as a clasp. And that's actually something that I want to dedicate a whole coffee time to in the future, that a clasp doesn't always need to be a clasp, for example, but we can use it in many different ways. So for today, I will show you specific examples and give you a sneak peek into my thought process of selecting metal findings. It doesn't mean that I always think about choosing findings on a conscious level. Sometimes I reach for a metal component because I simply feel it, that it will work, and only later I discover the reasons. When we dig into our design decisions, we bring to the surface those unconscious decisions and learn from them. Just as with our soul, as we don't understand first why we are pulled this way or that way, but by learning about ourselves, we understand our motivation, our struggles, our wishes and values more and more, and can make better choices in our lives. And then also, when we look into it more consciously, how do we select colors, findings, shapes? We can also make better decisions in our beading when we bring the unconscious on a conscious level. So today for today I put together a collection of jewels from the past several years. First, I will always show you the jewel, and I invite you to try to guess why did I choose that specific finding. We did it already once in the past and it was super fun, but I thought that it will also be nice to return to this topic because there are so many new findings out there that they really, and also so many new beaded motifs, that they deserve more attention and more time during a coffee time with Erika. So in the meantime, I would also like to invite you to browse our extensive selection of high-quality metal components. But also please be patient because my lovely colleagues might still be working on something new behind the scenes to make your fairy forest experience even more special. And let's start with Zuzi's fortune motif. So this is a very versatile little motif. It can be beaded with 4 or 3 little hearts. And I would like to talk about the one that has 4 hearts. So it's shaped as a shamrock, and Zuzi actually created it for last year's St. Patrick's Day. And then she added this bow tie shaped brooch base to the jewel. So I will tell you how in my opinion, this fits so well. And then I invite you to try to guess with the next ones. So in my opinion, this is a perfect match because the 2 hearts next to each other kind of create an infinite symbol, and that comes back in the bow tie too. So this is the bow tie part is strengthening that shape in the shamrock pattern. So this is what we are going to do. Is it clear, ladies? I will always show you pictures and you can try to find out, type it in, that why do you think that the metal finding fits the beaded motif. Linda is here also. And Evie, can you please post this question about the link in the club? Because at the moment I can't look it up because then I would have to leave you here for 5 minutes and I don't want to do that. So please type it in, just copy your question into the club and we will post the article link. Thank you so much. Annette says she loves the infinity shape in this. And let's see the next jewel. So the next jewel is also by Zuzi, and it is the Helios. Clarissa says, this is kind of like literary analysis, by the way. Absolutely. Absolutely. And there is not like one perfect choice. There is no one perfect answer. There is no one perfect metal component that fits the best. These are just examples, and you can have a different opinion, and you can even like see the reason differently with the even with the same. So please go free, go wild, and try to guess that why these earring hooks fit the design so well. Sabina, in the meantime, says filigrees definitely extend the beading possibilities, and Beadingschool has a big selection of lovely filigrees. I am so happy that I discovered this shop and this lovely beaders community. And we already love having you, Sabina. I'm a big, big, big fan of filigrees, so you are at a good place. And Linda says the earring findings match with the elongated shape. And Lita says, the lines of size 15 seed beads mirror the line of cubic zirconia in the earring findings. And both ladies have very, very nice insight into this. What I was thinking about, that the two triangle-shaped cabochons, they already create an elongated shape, as Linda says, and it is even more emphasized by the long thin earring finding, creating a long line of sparkle. But Lita is just as right that the size 15s, the dots of the size 15s, they are exactly like the cubic zirconia in the earring findings. And Ginny says that proportion is also very important, like putting a smaller clasp on a thin chain and a chunky one for a thicker one. And Loretta also thinks that it's the slender, elongated shape. And Erika says metal components really match the person's own design sense. Absolutely. Like, even with the smallest, simplest designs, we always make them our own. The colors, the extensions, the extra components. It's always, even when you are working from the same Beadingschool Academy boxes, even then, we see many, many, many different variations. So this was very nicely solved, and Lita even brought a new insight for me. And let's see the next one. So this is Blooming Sunset by Veronka, and let's try to find out why did she choose the clasp, that specific clasp, to go with this design. I'm very curious. What do you think about this one? And Kimberly says, this is amazing and very helpful information, as I am very picky about balancing design. Balance, rhythm, the proportions, as Ginny say, they are just as important as colors. So there is so much that we put into beadwork. And I think when we take care of those finishing parts too, like the findings, that is what really makes a difference at the end. And Heather says she went with the navet shape. And Linda also says the shape of the clasp matches the shape of the navets. Indeed, that's where I see the resemblance, that all these elongated shapes come together on the front with the navets, laying down horizontally, and then we have the same in the back. And then we have another piece by Veronka, the Andromeda. And ladies, what do you think? Why did Veronka choose this specific connector to this pattern? And Robin also said about the previous, I think the drop softens the angular design of the necklace. Sometimes also contrast is very helpful. So when we design, we can look for similarities, or on the other hand, we can look for contrasting elements, and both create some kind of strong feeling that stays with us when we look at a jewel. And Kimberly says, this is one of my favorite pieces ever. So much bling in it. Linda says that the pendant holder and the design itself, they remind her of flowers. Heather says, blooming outward. Loretta says, kept the circle pattern. And even the cabochon in the middle matches it. And indeed, there is this blooming flower-shaped pattern in the design itself, in the internal sparkle of the cabochon, and also in this blooming pendant holder that she used. So concentrical, blooming outwards shapes. Perfect match. And let's see the next one. This is a lot simpler design. And this was the Rose de May that I designed. So what do you ladies think? Why did I choose this clasp? Or why does it work with this design? This might be, even if it's a simpler design, this question might be a bit trickier. So I'm very curious if you can find the explanation. Oh, and Carol, you are so amazing. Thank you so much for finding the link. Indeed, how to join beaded motifs and components. This is the one. This is the one that I was talking about. And Ginny says, the centers carry through the pearl. Angelina says, the pearl in the middle mirrors the chaton roses. Linda says, the center pearl and the center monte. And Lita says, the obvious answer is the pearl mirrors opal rhinestones. And Carol, I was trying to copy paste the link, but for some reason I can't copy your link that you posted. So that's why I'm not posting it. Sorry. And Vanya also has a good one that contrasts the square to the circle and the purse and the monte. And my thinking was that on one hand, indeed, the circles in the middles, the pearl and the chaton rose, the Suban rhinestones. And on the other hand, when we connect them visually, then we get this long line through the bracelet. And thank you, Carol. But also there is a contrast between the circle and the square. So there are many answers to even one simple question. And let's look at the next one. And this is the Papilio, also designed by me. So can you find the reason why did I choose this specific clasp? It's one of my all-time favorites, by the way. I love this clasp so much. I love everything basically that has multiple functions. And this is a beautiful, 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 beautiful Neumann clasp made in Germany. And I am so proud of the collection that we carry. And by now we have so many different shapes and even all the colors and everything. And I love this because it's a clasp and it has this extra loop, so you can wear this beautiful clasp in the front and then attach your pendant. But also, if you put it to the back, then you can add a hanger, and it's just this tiny detail that is so lovable, I think. And Ginny says, I would love to see colored stones in the clasps to match the sparkles in the jewel. Dear Ginny, what are your thoughts about matching pearls? Because I might make you happy, not today, but in 2 weeks. Okay? Keep an eye on coffee times. And Robin says, in the meantime, I love this design and clasp. And Linda says, the V shape of the clasp and the seed beads. Ginny says, carrying the V shape through. Angelina also says that the clasp reflects part of the motif. Vanya has the same, Heather, Lita, and Linda says, one of my favorite clasps. And Annette says, I can see why you love this clasp. It's absolutely gorgeous. And Cindy agrees about the V shape. And indeed, that was the reason why I chose this. So the V shape is carrying through the motif itself, and it comes back in this connector and pendant holder and clasp in one. And now let's see the other one. This is easy. This is easy, ladies. So I expect a very quick answer, because we still have several designs that I would love to walk through, but oh my God, I'm talking so much again that time is passing fast. So, lovely ladies, why did Susie choose this specific charm? What do you think? Susan says, I wouldn't have known it's a clasp. It's so beautiful, right? Angelina says, same outline. Bernadette says, the navette. And indeed, the navette is there. Even the color matches perfectly. Jen has the same, that there is a navette shape in the middle of the motif, and there is a navette in the pendant in the charm itself. And even the whole leaf shape, how the mobituos are branching out of the navette in the beaded part, and then the smaller navettes are branching out of the light rose navette in the middle. So that's why this echoes so well with the design. And if you would love to have this pendant in different colors, stay with me, ladies. And the next one, it's Courage by Veronica, Talisman of Courage by Veronica. So what do you think? Why did she use, actually this is originally a toggle clasp, but she used it as a pendant holder. So what do you think? Why did she choose this specific metal finding for this beaded motif? Deborah says in the meanwhile that she loves the A11 motif. It was such a fun piece, wasn't it? I loved beading it. Linda says she can't wait to bead this from Veronica. Jen says that the toggle clasp mirrors the center of the cabochon. Ginny says carrying through with the flower design. Michelle says it reflects the center of the cabochon, and Deborah says beautiful with the cabochon. And indeed, even if in the toggle clasp the flower in the toggle clasp has 5 petals, and the flower in the middle of this handcrafted cabochon has 6, but these wavy petals, they really mirror each other, so that's why it works so well, in my opinion. And Robin loves the use of the clasp as a pendant holder. Let's get creative, ladies. Don't stick to the label in the bead shop. Don't stick to the label on your little baggies. Forget about it. Go crazy. Try it. Fail. Start anew. Cut it apart. You will discover so much about yourself and about beading. And now we are here with another one, the Wafira. And I made this as the live design for the Spice Bazaar Beading School Academy theme box. And I finished it as a pair of earrings. And I'm curious, what do you think? Why did I choose this specific earring finding? Oh my God, it's raining. It was so beautiful still even an hour ago. And now it's so gray and it's raining, pouring cats and dogs. My friends are coming over in the evening. I feel sorry for them. And Leta loved the toggle clasp from the Spice Bazaar, the lantern-shaped toggle clasp from the Spice Bazaar. It was very versatile. It was a good one. And Deborah says the idea of using metal pieces in unusual ways is really interesting and stimulating. I think every time when we leave behind something that was defined by someone else, that really just show us how creative we can get. It's a good exercise for our brains, for our playfulness. So do that, ladies. Don't be afraid of failing. It is a safe place. Vanya says the petal shapes. Heather says opposites working together. Cindy says the flower is similar to the middle of the cabochon. Oh, and Erika says, I really wish we had more time together, Erika and ladies. Indeed. And here I also see kind of like a blooming element, like we had with Andromeda from Veronka, that the ear stud itself is a flower and the beaded motif is also like blooming. So that's why it works well together, in my opinion, especially the bar beads, as they are like spreading out as a fan. I think that mirrors the flower shape very well, and the petals in the flower shape very well. Both are rose-shaped, as Bernadette says. Lovely ladies, so many good answers. And I don't mean that, oh my God, you are thinking exactly the same as I think, but because that does not matter if that doesn't make it good. What makes it good is that you are creative and you are making this, trying to find out what and bring it to a conscious level, that why does this work? So you are amazing, ladies. By the way, I was complaining earlier when I moved that I can't find any of my bar beads. So finally today I stumbled upon a little box with like 6 colors of bar beads. So I'm so happy about that. And let's see the next one. This is the one actually that I will finish with. And I'm curious, what do you think? This was also on the cover. What do you think? Why does this work together? Oh, and Clarissa says, in general, I find the components carried by Beading School are unique, which is what I like. Thank you, Clarissa. I'm so happy that you enjoy working with them. Linda says that her cabochons just arrived. Wonderful. So lovely ladies, what do you think? Why did I choose this specific ear stud for this earring? Why did actually these two shapes get together into the Celestial Lantern Beadingschool Academy theme box? Heather says the stone and the finding match. Sherry says rectangle on top and bottom. And Jen says rectangle center stone match. And indeed, the earring finding itself is rectangle shaped, and also the cabochon, of course, is rectangle shaped. So that's why it matches so well. So, lovely ladies, thank you so much for this fun exercise together. But please stay with me, because I still have excellent news for you, also for those beaders who were looking forward to have the flower spacer bars in golden color, and also lots of restocks. And we will actually have a super fun game soon. So I would also like to tell about that. Oh, Eve discovered it. She says, just placed an order. So many new goodies. We'll come back and rewatch what I missed during the live. And indeed, ladies, it is time for spring. It is time to bloom after resting during the winter. And we wanted to bring you an extended collection of metal findings and more that you can play with together with your Fairy Forest Beadingschool Academy boxes. Because just as we talked about it, it does matter that what kind of metal elements we choose for our jewels. They can break a design. And a few months ago, I had a fun coffee time when I showed you that what kind of components or other cabochons, other findings were on my mind when I was curating your box, but unfortunately they didn't fit. And many of you said that you would like to see those findings and you would like to see that extended collection in the bead shop. So that's what I am bringing you today. You can see this as the extension of the Fairy Forest collection. You can see this as what did not fit into the box, but also you can see this as an excellent opportunity to get your hands on something sparkly and something sweet, because since Passover, Easter, and spring are coming up, then we want to celebrate this new beginning and regaining our energy and awakening together with you. It doesn't matter which holiday you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate any of these religious holidays, but we can all cheer together for the nature awakening. We can all cheer together for a new beginning, for new possibilities in life. And let's welcome spring with this little gift on one hand that we prepared for you. So each and every beader who will place an order between today's coffee time and next week's coffee time with Erika will receive this sweet and sparkly gift, one gift per beader, not one gift per order, but one gift per beader. So we will slip this into your packages, no matter what is the value, but we would like to say a big heartfelt thank you for everyone who keeps trusting us with your precious bead orders. So between next week's coffee time with Erika, every beader who places an order will receive a gift like this. Can be differences a little bit, but this is an example, and there is one gift per beader prepared for you. And we are actually also preparing a very, very fun, adrenaline-filled game for you that will be going on from Friday until Monday. So also please keep an eye on our newsletters, keep an eye on our announcements on social media. We will bring you a lot more information. And I would also like to tell you that and show you what kind of goodies did we add to the Beading School bead shop in the meantime. So please allow me a moment to share my screen, and I am trying to keep an eye also on the comments. Kimberly says, Erika, do you know how many pieces are in the new ice rectangle charm bundles? There is no info, just a picture of each color. Dear Kimberly, it's always the same packages as they are on their own, but multiplied with the colors. So I will look it up for you in a moment. And lovely ladies, indeed, the much awaited flower spacer bars are back, and my lovely colleagues are have even added the golden color, and they created a bundle from silver and gold colors. So if you would like to have both, then this is the best deal. Then I know that many of you were looking for good quality chains in gold and silver and more colors. And this was a big task that we kept researching actually for years, because whenever we came across someone, it was either like not as nice as we like it to be, not as good quality as we like it to be. So we were waiting for the right moment, and finally we have chains that you can use for your pendants. We have chains that come already with lobster clasps and a ring or an extension chain, or we also have chains that you can cut into pieces. And for example, here they are in one package by 2 meters, but keep an eye on the descriptions. I will also put this on the screen so you can scan this easily in case that you are interested in something. The best is to browse the new in the bead shop category, of course. And let's see what else do we have here. And Kimberly, the gold spacer bars should be available on their own. I will find them for you now and post the link. We also have here flower ear studs. We have lots of bundles. Indeed, here are the rectangle charms that you were wondering about. And we have a pendant bundle in 3 colors, the one with the navet. And this is something that I absolutely, absolutely love. The Pearly Bell charm bundles. This I really wanted to have in the box actually, but unfortunately they are quite pricey, so that's why I could not include them in the box, but you can find them also one by one and also as a bundle in the bead shop. And Angelina says the 40 centimeters, it's indeed a bit on the smaller side. There are also 44. And then we have the chain sold by meters. We have to like go for the ones that are available by the manufacturers. So sometimes it's not so easy to influence them. We do our best, and this is definitely something that we will take into account. And we'll try to find also like around like 44. That's, I think, like also a nice size to have. Then ladies, actually, we managed to restock and even managed to add new colors of the tiny 2.8 millimeter Preciosa Suwon rhinestones, both in silver and in gold colors. So those are definitely nice to check out. And you see, there are so many of them. We also have new chain extenders. So if you would like to make your necklaces or your bracelets adjustable, then these are really fun to use. I like them more for necklaces, not that much for bracelets. For necklaces, they are really great. Then you can adjust the length, even if the chain is a little bit on the short side for you, or for example you have a different neckline of the top, then you can use this to make it work with whatever you like. And just a moment, I have actually a link separately for the metal for everything that I need to mention. And actually, the team also put together new 2.8 millimeter Suwon rhinestone boxes with the new and the restock colors. So that's also worth it to check it out. And the 4 millimeter ones are also, I'm posting the links. And I'm sorry, ladies, this link was not right. Because it went to our private page in the Beadingschool bead shop. But yeah, so we also have Princess Square cabochons in opal colors. Those we added actually the previous week. Then we also have lots and lots of charms and bundles, and I didn't find yet the answer to Kimberly's question. One moment. I will change my... Marcy found the gold spacer bars in the meantime. Thank you so much, Marcy. So there is one piece. These are also like super high quality ones. So there is one piece of the fancy rectangle in one package and two pieces of the pearly bell charms in one package. So when it's written in the bundle that it's 7 colors, then it's 7 times the base package. We also have now the shamrocks in silver color. And Vanya is asking for the restock information. I'm posting the link for you, dear Vanya. Here you can find everything from the past weeks, you might need to a little bit go back through the pages because we removed from this category after a few weeks what we have restocked. So there are at the moment 6 pages to go through in the treasury restock category. We also restocked this super cool earring findings. And this is one of my favorites, this connector chain in fuchsia. And I actually have a little video also for you ladies to bring you into the springtime awakening mood. Are you ready for them? I hope so. So everything what you could see in this video, they were on my mind when I was putting together the fairy forest box. So if you are looking for even more special components to match your fairy forest collection, then these are perfect for that. And Vanya says she found what she was looking for. And she says she has placed 3 orders already. And the day is just new, dear Nancy. And thank you so much. See, she says there are so many great new pieces. And Eve is asking, are the 2.8 Suwon bundles all with the new colors? It's a mix of the old and the new colors. It's not only new, but a mixture. So lovely ladies. Do you have any questions left? For this week, what is very important, that on Thursday, we will have an offline, no one has to bead alone. And it will be Ruxandra's Avery pattern. That is one of my favorites from the whole collection. And then there will be a fun springtime awakening game from Friday until Monday. So watch out for social media posts and watch out for your newsletters. And also, yeah, something other fun is coming on Monday. And of course, next week from Tuesday is bead embroidery week. Antoinette says this is called bead fever. And Linda has a question. Are those flowers metal on this connector? And Linda, if you mean the flower spacer bars, then there are zircons in the metal. So in the middle, there is a little dot of metal, but there are like 4 petals around in each flower that are set with cubic zirconia. And Beatrix says, I'm also very busy in the shop. Super news. Oh my God, ladies. Thank you so much for loving this. And just as on our bead mats, we all need a springtime awakening. We all need to rest after big tasks in our lives. And please pat yourself on the shoulders and please hug yourselves for creating so many beautiful jewels, for continuously learning. Please thank yourself for being an active member of the Beadingschool Club, for helping your fellow beaders, for spreading the good vibes in the community. And thank you so much for this super interesting and educative metal finding session. I loved doing this for you, doing this video, and I can't wait to do it again sometimes in the future. So lovely ladies, thank you. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your days. Happy beading. Happy bead shopping. Thank you for your sparkly orders, and have fun and take care. Take good care of yourselves and your loved ones. Bye bye.